Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Today we're back here with the kill count. Today, well, time for the Troma film, The Toxic Avenger. We've been hearing about it, and, well, we're finally checking out what the heck is going on with this. See what the heck the Toxic Avenger is all about, and see how many bodies this one gets up. So be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Let's go.
Welcome to the Kill Count,
Hey,
where
James,
we
how you
tally
doing?
up the victims in all
Is that
our
a flying
favorite
cane?
horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at The Toxic Avenger, released in 1984.
we got a Speedo.
The Toxic Avenger follows a weakling weighing 98 pounds who gets sand in his face when kicked to the ground. But thanks to barrels of toxic waste, he becomes a strong man. And oh honey, not the wrong man either. The Toxic Avenger, also known as the Monster Hero, or Toxie, is a champion of justice. He just champions extreme violence to dish it out. The Toxic Avenger is a Troma film, which needs a bit of an explainer before we begin. Because this movie's probably unlike anything most of you have ever seen. Sure, I've technically covered a Troma film before with Death by Temptation, but that was more of a personal movie by the writer/director/star. It didn't have the trademark Troma tropes of offensive humor, relentless nudity, and shocking kills. Troma Entertainment was founded in 1974 by the human cartoon Lloyd Kaufman and his conversely quiet business partner Michael Hers. They met at Yale and still work together at Troma today, finding longevity in low budgets and that world-famous New York charm. Kaufman and Hers co-directed The Toxic Avenger as business partners and friends.
Occasionally I would direct, yes, but very soon I realized I had no gift for creating relationships with the actors.
Indie to the bone, Troma movies are low budget and exploitative. The company has distributed over 1,000 films in its 50 years of existence. It may be a mainstay of the underground, but Troma's also hugely influential in modern cinema. James Gunn got his start there, as did plenty of other filmmakers and actors. Stan Lee once said Troma influenced the works of Tarantino, Takashi Miike, Peter Jackson, and more. Its early output was mostly raunchy comedies, but eventually Troma refocused on the horror genre. That was partly thanks to The Toxic Avenger, which was made for $500,000 with a crew mostly consisting of students and newcomers. The Toxic Avenger wasn't a box office hit, but it became a cult film thanks to a small New York theater called the Bleecker Street Cinema, which played it as a midnight show for years. It's Troma's most widely known property by far, spawning several sequels, some comics, a video game, a stage musical, a surprisingly kid-friendly cartoon, and an upcoming remake. Despite its proliferation, this movie is not for the faint of heart. I know a lot of you are hardened horror fans who gladly consume stuff that most people would find uncomfortable. But The Toxic Avenger, as with most Troma films, pushes the envelope no matter who you are. The first kill will floor you, but it doesn't stop at the violence. There are blind jokes, fat jokes, jokes about Nazis, I guess jokes about gay people, definitely gay slurs, racial slurs, sexual assault, and elder abuse. It's offensive all around, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. In art, you sometimes need to explore where the line is. When nothing's subversive, everything is too safe, and you lose a primary function of art. More importantly, behind its universal offensiveness, The Toxic Avenger has a saccharine sincerity to it where good triumphs over evil in the end. I truly love it.
The kill count set.
Hello?
The world capital of counting and horror creation.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far,
But for all this creation, there is a price to be paid. Long hours and creative burnout that can erode the soul of any man.
You know, I appreciate it, but I'm actually fine, because I use today's sponsor, Vance Global, to help me unwind.
Vance Global?
Global?
Yeah, they make Delta 8 products that are completely legal and shipped to your door in discreet packaging.
Oh, I've heard of those. They come in products like gummies, carts, and more, right? But can't those be unsafe?
Well, not inherently, but some companies don't put the necessary care into production, which can cause contaminants or improper doses with their products. So it's important to make sure you know how safe the products you use are, and Vance agrees. They even have a whole page detailing what to look for to make sure your experience is safe, and they provide independent lab reports that have been performed on each of their product lines. For example, this Delta 8 gummy has an easily accessible lab report checking for contaminants including chemicals, heavy metals, and bacteria, so I can relax comfortably knowing I'm safe.
Oh, that's sweet.
Mind if I try a little?
I guess. How would that even work, though?
Find you, Zorn. Thank you.
Pay no attention to the man behind the kill count set.
Try Vance Global for yourself by going to the link in our description and get 20% off your order with code DEADMEAT, or use code DEADMEAT30 for 30% off initial or renewal subscriptions. In Tromaville, New Jersey, there's a whole lot of crime polluting the streets. Let's see how many kills it takes to clean them up.
Here we go. Start it up.
The movie begins with a warning. Let me tell you,
Extreme
it'll earn it in
violence,
less
Emil.
than 10 minutes flat.
That's
flat
only
like a
borrowed.
kid's head. A powerful narrator
see.
voice tells us the breaking news that New
hey,
York
Twin Towers.
City makes a lot of trash. All that radioactive goop's gotta go somewhere, and I don't see any oblongs around, so Tromaville, New Jersey will have to do.
Tromaville, the toxic waste-dumping capital of the world.
The narrator
That
drops us
seems
off
a
at the
little
Tromaville
crazy.
Health Club, a place full of characters working out to an awesome
Oh,
ripoff
jeez,
of
ow.
Olivia Newton-John's Physical. This gym is full of boobs, butts, thighs, butts, and gay title cards.
There you
With
go.
everything going on here, you know there be juices abound. Mopping up those floor hazards is our unlikely hero, Melvin Ferd. He's a nerd, and the bullies there hate him.
Would you take a look at that fucking guy? I hate that mop boy.
Melvin's idiocy
Oh.
gets him in trouble with Anger Issues Guy and Proto Corey Feldman. They really hate him, man. Head bully Bozo, Blozo's a fucking gasket. Holy shit, that was amazing. He sounded like he wanted to go take back the White House. How's a guy that crazy get a girlfriend like this chick Julie? Oh, I
That
guess
makes
they have a
sense
lot in
now.
common. Meanwhile, Slug and Wanda bond over their love of locker booze and how horny clown laughs make them. Oh, you did it now. 6 minutes in and it's tits o'clock.
There we go.
Running a little late there for Troma time. Funny enough, actors Robert Pritchard and Jennifer Baptist met while auditioning for this movie, then
Really?
started dating and got married for 18 years. Oh, that's nice. Melvin and his mop walk in on their dirty business, and his yucking makes Wanda pull out a switchblade.
Get out of here, you pervert! Or I'll kill ya!
And she means it
Yikes.
too. These four bullies literally murder people as a game. They list off a string of slurs as they discuss their point system based on race and age.
Now, kids under 12, they're worth double points.
Ah, no,
What?
that does not bode well for burgeoning bicyclist Skippy.
Be careful out there!
I got bad news for you, sis. The sickos see Skippy and taunt him for a minute before turning around and
Oh,
slamming
jeez.
on the gas. They knock that kid's freaking stunt double up their windshield and over their car. Hot damn! But the skipper's still
Hey, he's
floating.
still alive.
Or kinda. Ouch. So to secure his points, Bozo double taps the kid's head with his treads. Holy fucking
Ooh,
goddamn Christmas
goddamn.
shit! Jesus Christ! This kill is
Yikes. Hope the mom saw that, cause let's be real. God damn. These kids deserve death. Like, seriously. They think killing's a game. They deserve the death. Yikes. I don't say that, like... I don't say that, like... Ironically. They deserve it. Anyway.
absolutely abhorrent, as are these people.
This is fun!
It's highly disturbing, but also so over the top, I can't help but respect the movie for going there. They want you to know these people are evil and hate them, and this certainly does the job.
That is one way to
regardless
make
of
them hate
Slug's
him,
Sunday
just-
plans.
Well, I gotta get up early in the
morning. Gotta go to church.
You're a church boy?
This is by far the most infamous scene from the film, but it was accomplished through simple methods. The kid's head is a cantaloupe with cranberry sauce on top.
It's not cranberry sauce.
Nope, actually, this time it is. Co-directors Lloyd
There you go
Kaufman
there.
and Michael Hurst dispute who came up with the idea. They both credit the other one.
I would have to say that Lloyd Kaufman, the creative genius behind Troma, decided to crush a watermelon or some of a melon with some blood and guts on it that he got from somewhere.
We were gonna have a head cast and all that stuff. Michael said, hey, just get a melon, put a wig on it, and all that. That was your idea.
The next day's more of the usual at the health club. Melvin is weird and Bozo is likely on cocaine. The bullies brainstorm how to prank Melvin in the midst of a hip-shaking huddle. It's the second best way to come up with ideas, after the double-toke incline crunch handoff, of course. They have Julie invite Melvin to the girls' locker room that night.
Let's say 7 o'clock.
Okay, that'll be good for me too, because I gotta clean the toilets in there anyway around that time.
Even at teeth-chattering horny status, Melvin always thinks with his mop. Melvin's memorable performance comes from Mark Torgel, who was also the movie's script supervisor. Makes sense he was on the crew. This guy seems Troma to the core, even today.
He had a problem with his anal glands and he used cinnamon anal cream.
Oh, hey, it's Darcy. Of fucking course. Melvin finds Murder Barbie in all her bronzed glory, but she says she'll only make it with him if they do it by the pool. Also, he has to wear this pink tutu. Man, the tutu is one thing, but ain't no one pulling off those green spots. They get Melvin to basically make out with a sheep. That's their prank. I mean, it's definitely embarrassing, especially with this guy laughing at you, but we just saw these people smash a kid's head like a pumpkin. I feel like Melvin got off easy. I honestly feel worse for the sheep here. The prank gets everyone laughing at Melvin, and they chase him around bound in torment. Unbeknownst to any of these idiots, there's a truck with toxic waste parked outside. These guys were transporting barrels of it with only a vague understanding of what it was.
It's dangerous. It's like that cancerogenic stuff, you know.
But they pulled over to do a giant bag of coke, as you do, coincidentally right in front of the health club. So of course, that's where Melvin ends up after he pulls a Sally Hardesty out the window. Face down, ass up. That's the way he likes to melt? Breakdance? Kind of all the above, huh? It doesn't stop the gym rats from laughing at him or from accusing him of being overly dramatic.
He's faking it, Joey. He's faking it.
Yeah, Melvin, quit faking it. Oh, and you got a cop in on it too? Come on, officer, quit faking your hands on fire. Bunch of fucking phonies here, I tell you. Melvin runs away as Night on Bald Mountain plays, the song best known from the segment of the same name in Disney's Fantasia. It's used in this movie repeatedly, mostly as a cue for the titular Avenger. Always fun to hear it ramp up on the soundtrack. Also always fun to watch a great fire stunt. Melvin tries to wash the waste off, but come on, man. You at least gotta use Gojo, or maybe some fast orange. You know what? Never mind. It's probably too late.
Dead.
Melvin's skin and hair start rebelling against him, and pretty soon, he's the incredible Air Bladder Man. Night of Bald Mountain kicks back in for the trippy final transformation, which sees him duck down as a radioactive boy and pop back up as a radioactive man. And this man's ready for a night on the town. The first criminals he'll run into are Cigar Face, Knuckles, and Nipples, a trio of colorful characters hoping to corrupt an honest cop. Officer O'Clancy turns down their bribe and gets attacked, because they hate it when people don't take their money. They beat him down and prepare to blow his dick off, but that's when the Toxic Bald Mountain intervenes. Toxie snatches some wigs and breaks some hands, then uses Cigar Face's face like a speed bag. Oh, and he does the same with Cigar Face's cigar. But at least he lets the leader live. The others aren't so lucky. Nipples suffers a Three Stooges routine gone wrong. Knuckles is elbowed in the face, and then they're both killed when Toxie smashes their noggins together full force. Nipples and Knuckles are long dead before Tails can come and save them. Consider these criminals cleaned up. Toxie shows he's not a real monster when he explains himself to Officer O'Clancy.
Don't worry, I won't hurt you. I don't know what came over me.
The monster's unlikely voice is provided by Kenneth Kessler, a non-actor who had been an assistant director in the 40s and 50s. It's a great voice.
What's up, guys?
Physically, the Toxic Avenger is played by Mitchell Cohen, who would later become the vice president of a company that sells copiers. His co-workers have seen the film.
What'd you think about the sex scene, Joe?
It was great.
Wasn't it great?
Oh yeah, great. It was really great.
A fun little discovery I made was that Mitch Cohen, the Toxic Avenger, was in Clerks.
Hey, try not to suck any dick on the way through the parking lot.
Him?
Hey, you, get back here.
Yeah, he was that guy. Toxic, get back here. Cohen, like many monster performers, had to endure hours in the makeup chair.
Anybody that wants to get into the world of filmmaking, putting on makeup for 4 hours really sucks. It was the worst experience you can possibly imagine.
He filmed the whole movie only seeing out of one eye, since the other was beneath prosthetics.
It wasn't a pleasant experience being in the makeup, but it was really a lot of fun.
Toxie's look was designed by special effects artist Jennifer Aspinall, who worked on friggin' Spookies around the same time.
Fangoria contacted me afterwards, and I did an article, and that began my special effects makeup career.
Aspinall would go on to have an insanely successful career, winning Emmys for makeup and working on everything from Westworld to Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Officer O'Clancy tells the press the whole story and says the monster hero saved his life. What a scoop! That brings Toxie to the attention of the city's corrupt leaders, which includes Mayor Peter Bellgoody, who enjoys sub sandwiches at the fitness club, and the Chief of Police, who is probably a Nazi. Oh, scratch that. It's definitely a Nazi.
Yeah.
Wait, Tromaville in Argentina? The crooked politicians are another patch on this movie's quilt of stereotypes, and they're legitimately hilarious sometimes.
Tom, is he dead?
That line delivery from Pat Ryan fucking kills me, as does the other guy's face. Unlike most of the cast, Pat Ryan had actually acted before, and would change his character's dialogue with the blessing of the directors. With all their backroom deals and mucking about, these guys aren't fans of a vigilante do-gooder. But no matter how do-goody his heart is, Foxy's still a disgusting monster on the outside. Not even his own mother can handle the sight of him. He fucks off by his lonesome and finds a new place to live, the Tromaville dump. He can live a good, honest life here. Maybe chop wood, like the dad from The Witch, or just build a home that's mostly asbestos. I guess he's probably not worried about the cancer, huh? Now we're at Tromaville.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised considering, like, you know, dipped in toxic waste. I don't think the asbestos is gonna do shit. What are you gonna do? Anyway, moving along.
World famous taco stand. A great place to get ball sweat tacos served by not H. John Benjamin and not Jonathan Byers. The place gets held up at gunpoint.
Drop your tacos or I'll blow your brains out!
It's your average taco stand problem. Once again, the bad guys are inhumanly evil, with this Leroy dude sticking his shotgun into a baby's face. Oh my god, dude. Unlike the vast majority of this cast, Leroy's actor Patrick Kilpatrick would go on to have a successful acting career, even appearing in Minority Report. One customer tries to make a taco stand, but I mean, look at that wall behind him. You know he's going through it. Sure enough, Leroy fires and sends the guy flying backwards through the crash wall. It's an ultra-violent blast, but it still takes him a minute to die, which is a pretty sick detail to include. The criminals continue their reign of terror by taunting a blind woman and shooting her dog. Aw, poor good boy. They threaten to rape her, and that's when Toxie finally shows up. Damn, man, you couldn't have come before the dog got shot? Or that guy, I guess? Toxie throws down with the three hoodlums, quickly tearing off the arm of the leader, Frank. If you think this looks awesome, it's because performer Larry Sutton was a real-life amputee. Wasn't a real-life actor, though. He was an IRS agent who wanted to be in a movie so bad, he was down to use his amputation to do so. That's really him handling that knife, too. Toxie beats Frank to the ground with his own arm. That'll show him, but the arm proves less effective against Leroy and this third dude, Rico, who is quite the jumpy little fuck. No wonder his performer Michael Russo would go on to be a highly successful stunt performer and coordinator. Eventually, Toxie milkports Leroy and tells him the same thing Gregory Tudor once said. You're ice cream. Actually, turns out Leroy is blended, since his head is destroyed by the blender. Next up to be served is Rico, whom Toxie incapacitates with a frying basket and a bunch of pipes. Then he kills the acrobatic asshole by deep frying him in oil. Finally, Toxie decides to grill up a Frank, or I guess bake him, since he shoves Frank into an oven. It happens off screen though, because no way that guy actually fits in there. With the bitter bad guys sweetened, Toxie helps the traumatized blind woman, whose name is Sarah. Lacking a seeing eye dog now, Sarah asks Toxie to take her home. The humor here is very broad and haha she can't see, but actress Andre Miranda definitely commits to the bit. I mean, everyone in this movie does. No one can be accused of half-assery. This is Miranda's only acting credit. She was a singer and the girlfriend of the film's primary financial investor. She still auditioned for the part though, and I think she's perfect in it. To get to know her savior, Little Red Riding Sarah feels on him.
What big hands you have.
That ain't the only big thing he's rocking either, girl. Oh, hey, Hansy, I was talking about them pecs.
Oops. Sorry.
It's okay. Word gets out about the monster taco smash, probably because everyone loves that taco place. Those cops can't get enough. A professor says not to worry though, because this toxic monster seems to be driven only to murder wrongdoers and ne'er-do-wells. That definitely includes locker room drug dealers like Dennis here, who sells his wares and funnels the money to City Hall. You know, I love massages and I love sandwiches, but I just don't think they'd be good at the same time. The monster arrives at the health club and clears it out, except for Dennis, who's really focused on his leg curls today. Toxie shows how versatile a cable weight system can be when he murders Dennis by crushing his head. Holy dear God! Wow, and then half of it's just gone? Those are some serious games.
Just mops it up.
And another dirty scoundrel all cleaned up. Over in the sauna, Wanda's getting some rocks hot. Wait, is that a phone? Oh man, I just assumed that was a phone for a second. No, it's Wanda's Polaroids of the dead kid they ran over, and she jills off to them because she's depraved like that. Toxie arrives to help her get her rocks off by putting her on the sauna rock.
Let this be a lesson to you, hot ass.
She's either dead or she ain't gonna be able to sit on the toilet for at least a month. Jennifer Baptist, like most of the cast and crew, was new and inexperienced. She knew there'd be nudity while auditioning and said she felt empowered by the sex scene, but this was different.
I didn't know I was gonna have to masturbate.
In the moment, she decided to shoot it for the sake of the character, but she did not have a good time.
They promised me I would have a closed set. It wasn't a closed set. I mean, everybody was there. It was a little bit humiliating.
A crew member even passed her his number after they cut, which is ew. As much as I love this movie, I don't think we should ignore that it wasn't made under optimal conditions. The next despicable being to cross paths with the Toxic Avenger is this pimp who's trying to sell a 12-year-old. The sicko rolls deep and a whole clown car of pedos pile out, but Toxie's never been afraid of handicap matches. He only kills 2 of the guys though, letting one get his throat slit accidentally and stabbing another one with his own knife. Then the monster saves the kid and commandeers the limousine to Dorsia. A montage shows Toxie continuing to do good deeds around town. He saves kids from becoming roadkill, helps Granny cross the street, and even lends a hand in the kitchen, personally popping the lady's corn. The town begins to fall absolutely in love with the monster, even putting up with his Burt Gummer cosplay. The guy's a hero after all. I saw that in the news. With the jail cells filling up and crime disappearing by the day, the corrupt ruling class decides it's time to detoxify their town.
Because if we don't kill him, He's gonna kill us.
A hit job led by Cigarface circles the monster hero in an alley. Wow, this gang is full of guys I love. Get a load of these dudes. Toxic just jumps out of the way when they shoot, letting the crossfire do the work for it. Fuck having to kill them all himself.
Like a fuck you!
Although there are 6 guys in the bullet circle, I'm only counting 5 since it appears Cigarface lives. Dan Snow reprises the character in the Toxic Avenger Part 2. At home, Sarah falls in love with
catch a
Toxic,
break.
and he falls in fumes with her.
I've never felt like this before.
Then we get a monster sex
sure it
scene, but
wasn't-
hey, it's passionate and consensual, and also is not that scene from Basket Case 2, so I'll count this as a win. They begin a life of domesticity, with Toxie on that Gaston diet for real.
That's a lot of
Their
eggs.
happy marriage montage is set to Is This Love, a rock ballad by Mark Hoffman and Dean Summers performing under the band name Race. Hoffman and Summers also provided the song Nothing at All, which they had no idea would be used for a kid-killing scene. Yep. They only found out when they saw the movie, and that must have been something.
Awkward.
Both of these songs are great, but Is This Love helps make the Toxic Avenger what it is. Just like the movie, it's cheesy, but also genuine and sweet. It's a unique tone that ends up working really well for me. Despite having some sweet cheeks at home, Toxie isn't retired yet. He still has to stop evil. He attacks Julie in the locker room, inadvertently scaring an 18-year-old Marissa Tomei. Holy crap, look at that. It's Milfy Aunt May, y'all. He chases Julie into the basement, which looks like it could be the sewer tunnel, and Jason takes Manhattan. I bet Toxie wouldn't mind the toxic waste floods they regularly have every night, because that's a thing. Toxic catches up to
on the
Julie
other
and
one.
her awful screams.
Rats with red eyes, that's him.
God,
No blood, I'm
sounds
good.
like a screaming newborn. He raises a pair of scissors and prepares to kill Julie, but before we see it, it cuts to her boyfriend screaming just as obnoxiously. Bozo and Slug decide to beat an old woman. They get real Clockwork Orange with it.
Oh, what a feeling today.
They steal her car and try to run down the monster with it when they see him, but he parlays their auto attack with a kick-ass stunt. Holy shit, yo. Mitchell Cohen really rode around on top of a car. Okay, these shots are with a dummy for sure, but there's still someone driving real fast, you know? Slug is killed when he's choked to death and then tossed out of the moving vehicle. There he goes. Toxic climbs into the car and takes this opportunity to tell Bozo that he's actually Melvin. Then he drives the car past many a stunt performer performing stunts and causes a few cars to crash, complete with explosions. But we do see most of the drivers get out of their vehicles before they blow up, so I won't count any kills here, even though this car that flips like a Blues Brothers cop nearly killed the stunt driver in real life. When it landed, the roof collapsed due to a crappy roll bar installation. Thankfully, he was okay. This car chase, informed by George Miller's The Road Warrior, ends with Bozo's death when Toxie rips off the steering wheel and sends the car off a cliff. Hell yes! Oh my god, dude, get out of the way! This is a real car flying down a hill! That guy was just standing there. Oh wait, did we get a— hell yeah! There's the explosion! God, that was perfection, everyone. No. Toxie survives the crash like you were Jason Voorhees in an RV. He shakes it off and heads back to town. But, you know, that dude's probably concussed. I mean, how else would you explain his attack on this little old lady, Mrs. Haskell? He confronts her at the dry cleaners, where she tries to run away, but he catches up and gives her the full My Bloody Valentine treatment in the dryer. He leaves her perm-pressed body to be found. Mrs. Haskell is played by the late Norma Pratt, who had already worked with Lloyd Kaufman in Stuck on You. She enjoyed that role since it made no mention of her being a little person. She did not enjoy this role quite as much. The newspaper reports on the monster's monstrous actions, and it's digging at his conscience too. He doesn't know why he'd attack an innocent woman. He tells Sarah it's too dangerous for them to stay together.
You don't know who I am. I'm really the monster hero you've heard about.
Oh, I just kind of assumed she already knew that. Doesn't bug her either way. She loves Toxie and wants to stay with him.
No matter what!
They decide to get out of town so he can't hurt anyone anymore. But he needn't worry. His moral compass isn't broken. Turns out Mrs. Haskell was a little old human trafficker.
She was head of an international white slavery ring.
The mayor tells the chief they have to kill this moral monster anyway, to which the head copper agrees.
Yes, mein Führer, mein Mayor.
The mayor announces his intentions to kill the beast, but Officer Cleavage objects, citing how the monster saved his life. Wait, this whole police force is unbuttoned. More V-necks here than the first few kill counts. Officer O'Clancy and a bunch of kids cry over the monster's fate, but accept that they're helpless to fight City Hall.
Right?
That's some good kid acting right there. Thanks to a K-9 unit and some binoculars, the cops track Toxie and Sarah to their sex tent. The mayor calls in the National Guard, who co-opt Night on Bald Mountain to make their boombastic arrival. Yeah, trucks! Everyone in town sees the forces arrive, so the kids decide they have to try to save the monster. In fact, all of Tromaville goes to the monster's tent, surrounding him with curiosity and a whole lot of guns. The mayor gives the order to shoot and kill, but the citizens refuse to stand for it. A bunch of kids run in to protect Toxie, knowing that shooting children is a bad way to get reelected. Toxie scatters the kids for their safety, but he's already won over the townsfolk's hearts and minds. No one is willing to listen to the mayor's shooting orders, so he elects to shoot the monster himself. It doesn't work out the way he thought it would, and begging for his life has no effect. In front of everyone, Toxie rips out the mayor's guts with his bare hands. It's a gruesome fatality. Everyone reacts accordingly. Still, no one holds it against him. In no time at all, they're cheering and clapping for the monster and his gal. Toxie and Sarah were embraced by Troma.
They were about to shoot him,
cleaned it up of all its crime, and the citizens lived happily ever after. The movie ends with Toxie making sure the streets remain clean. How many Tromaville criminals did Toxie incarcerate in hell? Let's find out and get to the numbers. After a little bit of R&R. Ooh, what's up? Thank you so much.
Well, how is that?
These actually do go well together.
You know, just hopefully they don't puke. Zorn's had a face of like, why am I doing this?
21 kills in the Toxic Avenger, and as far as I could tell, there were 18 male victims and only 3 female victims. No green in that pie, but still maybe avoided anyway. True. Anything coming out of Tromaville. I've counted this many kills in 5 other movies before, and the closest one to the same gender breakdown was The Meg, which had 18 men, 2 women, and 1 unknown. With a runtime of 82 minutes, the Toxic Avenger had a kill on average every 3.9 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Dennis the drug dealer. As someone who uses a cable machine with a selectorizer every day, I've often noted just how lethal that weight stack rod could be. This kill is everything I imagined and more. I love it. The almost ready for lamest kill will absolutely go to Julie, a heinous character who deserves the worst but gets killed off screen. What a letdown. And that's it. The Toxic Avenger came out in 1984 and was followed by sequels, which I still have never seen. Until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching.
Well, there we go. Toxic Avenger. I gotta say, that was brutal. I actually did enjoy some of it. Then again, I think he did censor a lot of the racism and homophobe stuff. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.